Hello, we are back in Verda. We just finished The Fall of Neverdark, book 4 in the Echo Saga series. So this starts a new trilogy. Echoes of the Lost is this trilogy. So book 4, this is our cover here. Yeah, that's what we're vibing with.
Who is on the front? Do we know? Is that Asher and Maliath?
No,
Is it?
it might be.
I think it is. I don't think it's Alijah.
No, because he doesn't have a dragon.
I think Inara's on the cover of book 2,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Inara and Aethys. So I think that's Asher and Maliath.
Looks pretty cool.
Covers have
I
been.
love this cover. All the covers have been great.
I have this thing about like main characters on front covers, unless I really like it. And then I'm like, I don't have that thing. It looks cool. So I don't know how to describe my thing, but sometimes I hate main characters on the front. Sometimes I hate characters like people. I think it's just when they look cheesy. I think when people like look cheesy on covers, I'm like really disappointed in it. But when they look like badass like that, I'm like, yeah.
A good
yeah.
example is Percy Jackson, A Lightning Thief, because he's not facing the cover. So it's just like him doing like a cool thing in the water, like fate. That's cool. I can still have an imagination. Don't take away my visuals.
You have
visual building.
This character is like facing the camera. That your visuals taken away.
I don't know what about it that I like.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes
there are exceptions to every rule.
It's touchy.
Allegedly,
it's touchy. If they stick the landing, then it's like okay. But if they don't, then I'm like. But anyway, cover, fire, and now our characters.
This is a point for me. It's always interesting in a sequel series because it's like and we'll talk about this a lot more later, but how do you connect the series? Is there a time jump? Is it right afterwards? Yada, yada. This was 30 years after. We have some immortal characters, so there's obviously like, they're still chilling.
Yeah, they're still vibing.
So we had, I feel like, a good mix of new and old. And I feel like a lot of the old were used as good bridges for the new ones. And I just thought it was done really well. I mean, we have another angsty, brooding character, just like you like, with Alijah. So yay, he's like young and broody. So he's not like full. I'm just an angry,
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
had good
he's
range
teenage
though.
angst.
The angst is okay if there's range. Like he had this like internal. I liked Elijah's character a lot. He had an internal sense of like sad boy and like internal sadness, but he also had like moments where I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Vicon? I don't know how to say his name. But he had moments with him where they were like laughing and smiling and like having a good time. And he had like moments of triumph and moments of happiness. And so I think that like your broody characters have to be tempered with moments of success, right? They can't be sad boy anger the whole time or there's no emotions.
And the characters balance him, right? So when he gets super moody, like
his friends are like, get over yourself.
Like, bro, come on. Like, let's be done.
Yeah.
Because then you have the contrast of like Inara with her, immortality and everything like that, and being what he wanted to be, and now things are kind of like blending together a little bit.
But yeah, I thought the characters were a really good way to tie a really good tie between the first trilogy and the second trilogy. We jumped right in. Characters mattered. Immediately had reasons to care. It was not like I feel like if they had made this focus on Nathaniel and Reyna, it might have been like initially, right? If the initial focus was on them, it might have been a tougher connection because it's like, we had Asher and now we have Nathaniel and Reyna, but it was making it focus primarily on Alijah and Inara initially.
And I feel like it was done well enough to where it was like, I feel like in sequel series, like if you have the same main characters doing like the same cool stuff, it does get a little like dry. But the character, I feel like Nathaniel and Reyna and like Hadvad and stuff, they're still there and they're still doing stuff, but they're not like the main focus. So we get to focus on the new ones while also still having like relevant old characters instead of like, Reyna and Nathaniel just chilling in the castle for 3 books. Like they're still present and doing things.
And it was a good step of maturity too. Like their position wasn't all the fights, especially in this book. It wasn't like every time we saw their Pov, it wasn't like they were fighting. Whereas in the first trilogy, it was like they were always fighting. But it was like traveling,
on the politics,
talking
side.
Lore, trying to do ambassador stuff. It was good. 1 point, character development. Characters developed. They did the develop thing.
I feel like if you're gonna count our author as a character, developed very well too. We'll talk about it later on. But this
Mr. Quaintrell,
Mr. Quaintrell, I think you've leveled up a little bit. I don't know why I did it like that, but here we go.
I liked it.
Originality and creativity. I want to give this the full point. Not that I'm like arguing against it, but like it's the same series and it feels like the same series, but like there's such like a tonal shift in this book that it feels very fresh. and like the story of like with the crow and everything happening with him like being able to see everything that's going on while still in this realm where we didn't have these types of powers before makes it feel magic fresh.
Yeah, he done
Those are my
good.
words.
I
Mhm.
agree. I don't have any notes about the originality. It was good. The series is staying in the same world and having the same core and the same foundations that he built in the first trilogy while making it entirely fresh and new it has me excited for the third trilogy because I'm like, how are you going to do it again?
And we just finished book 4.
Yeah.
You're like, I want more of the
Yeah.
next trilogy. You don't even want to finish this trilogy. Like, just give me the next one. Hop right in.
No, I want to finish this one. I'm just also excited because he did such a good job placing us in this new time period. That's one thing that I've said over and over again that he's always done really well is he's always used time periods to his advantage in the story building. Whereas like the first trilogy of this got me really excited to eventually read A Time of Dragons because he starts off talking really intentionally about the history of Verda. And I'm like, that's going to be really exciting when we read the Dragon trilogy. But anyway, that's the point. I'm just prattling.
All right. That's what we're here for.
Engaging storyline. I was
I
engaged.
was stressed the whole time. This book, I feel like easy point for me, but I was like the whole time things are happening and the good guys are just getting pummeled like everywhere. Oh, yay, we saved this area. Actually, no, everybody's dead. And that sucks for you because it's just going to happen again and again and again. The whole book.
When do the main characters start winning?
There wasn't like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We just backpedaled the whole book.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
Rip Best Boy Gideon, man. He was also kind of just failing the whole book. It's like
he got promoted and it was a very short promotion and then the world fell.
Yeah.
What do you do?
It was good. Story end.
How do you feel?
I felt good. In the same way I felt about engaging storyline. It was like, when do we get to be happy?
It's nice because it's like a cliffhanger that's not like, oh, I wonder if like the heroes will, come out of it. But like everything was just so cursed that you're like I don't understand how we're coming
put the book
back
down,
from
and
this.
it's like, you go like, what now?
What are we supposed to do? So I have no hope at all, but there's 2 more books, which makes me have a little bit more hope.
Yeah. It's the endings feel much more abrupt in a good way in this trilogy. At least book 1, this ending felt like it didn't feel like in the first trilogy, endings felt like arcs were wrapped up. Like at the end of each book, a big arc I felt like was completed. Like, oh, what was the end of the second book? I don't know. I'm trying to draw a conclusion. I'm trying to use an example to describe how I feel. But I felt like in the end of the first trilogy, it was like big sections had completed. Whereas right now, I feel like we're getting an ending where it's more in the middle of all the chaos still. And it's like, guess you'll have to read the next one and find out what's going to happen next. Which I like.
I feel like
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it was like a true cliffhanger. There wasn't a need for like a finality of things because you could call this like a setup book, but really it's a teardown book. We're tearing down the first trilogy. I mean, that's essentially the whole Crow's whole thing, right? We're going to tear down this world to make it a better one. Phillips, like, I had a really good time with the first series. Everything you know and love is going to die.
I'm going to burn it all. Okay.
And then flowers will grow out of the ashes. Yeah.
When the dragons all die, there will be a lot of flowers.
If everybody's super, no one is.
Easy point.
Easy point, do. World building a setting, do.
World building a setting, also great. And I feel like it continues to build on the first trilogy by invalidating it. Like, Crow is like, all of that was exactly to my plans. And it's
just interesting too, all like the things that we saw that mattered in the first one were just like him just doing things to like get them to where they need to be today. Because all that thing you focused on for like thousands of years, I just came up with that in a Burger King parking lot, wrote it on a napkin, put in some resin.
That idea was the fart I had after having one too many cheeseburgers, and here we are today.
Here we are. Big old butterfly effect. But even the setting I feel like was good. I feel like every area they were in wasn't like the sun wasn't out and shining, like they were in the mountains and it's freaking cold and like everyone's just miserable because of the surrounding environments on top of everything.
Yeah, our areas felt fresh too. We definitely were in different areas than the first trilogy.
Well, they destroyed a lot of the areas of the first trilogy.
Well, when you put it that way.
We don't have to worry about this area anymore. I deleted it.
I don't really want to have to remember what to say about this one. I'm just going to burn it to the ground. We'll move somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a terrible person.
World debuilding.
World deconstruction.
Yep. Time for a new server. Pacing and structure. I don't even know if I want to say anything on this one. I was happy with it. I didn't feel it was choppy.
It was great. We're in the
It felt more not that the first books weren't fluid, but this one felt almost more.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Oh, I don't agree. No, I do. The emotional impact.
No. Yes.
Yes.
You're right.
I like that cup, by the way.
You got it for Father's Day. My
It's
dog and daughter are in it.
It's very wholesome.
All we had like 3 of these coffee cup things, and they said
Break.
Mama era. They said Haley, and the other one was just plain. So Haley made me this one.
Wholesome. Emotional impact.
Is that out of your system? You feel better?
I was emotional. I feel great. Thank you. I feel amazing.
Yeah, this book was much darker, and you could tell, like, just in a blanket statement, all the characters' like emotions felt real and translated off the page really well.
Yeah.
All of like Inara's and Elijah's arguments together felt good and felt like real things that were happening, and like Hadavad being like just stressed off the charts because he's been killing these people for 500 years and they still keep popping up like daisies. And Gideon, just everything is not going well for our friend. It's just not.
Gideon was getting it rough. He was not having a good time.
No, he's
Rip
not.
our boy. Our
Rip
best boy, Gideon. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say. It was good. It was great. It was fantastic. The end with Hadavad was Hadasad.
Hadavad has had a dad.
Sadavad. Mr. Sadavad.
Dadavad.
But I do have quite a bit to say on the next category. Which I feel like I will also say about this category a little bit as well. Writing style and prose, I feel like he is clearly continuing to grow through each book. And this book is a really good example of his maturity as a writer, and how, like, the first trilogy was great, but this feels, like you said, clear tonal shift, much more mature points of view, much more mature trials, much more mature style. Everything that's happening it just feels like he leveled up, and it's like, as a reader, it's good eats. It's good soup.
I feel like, and this isn't always necessarily true, but I feel like it tends to go, oh, like the next book is always like the best book, right? Oh, not always, but like it's like, oh, this one's better because more crazy stuff is happening. I feel like this is the best book in the series so far for us, just because of the writing upgrade. Not that it wasn't, like we said, bad in the beginning or anything like that, but you can tell like there's a level of maturity that just like happened, like as a writer and as a story too. Like the story is now, it doesn't feel everything like is going to work out in the end type thing. And I feel like that is done really well. And I mean, that's going to be like in the themes and stuff.
If you'll recall from my earlier reviews on the first 3 books, my only minor complaint was that it felt a little shallow at times. That the characters felt a tad, not that they just felt a tad shallow, that they felt a tad simple.
The well wasn't that deep.
Like Asher in the first book, I would say, was just a broody boy. And I don't know that he had that like tempered cast that had the jokes, that had the like, that made him like a happier person. I think we just saw, I'm a sad boy and I was an assassin and no one can love me. And looking at Alijah in contrast with this book, it was like, I'm a sad boy and my family can't love me. But also it was like his friends were making jokes and pulling him out of it. And you saw him have moments of triumph and happiness with his friend, and it brought him joy. And it wasn't just like, everything's sad. And you saw him, even when he was upset to see his sister, you saw him happy to see his sister. And he was like, my twin, I love her. I want to see her, even though I'm sad. It was good. It was a clear upgrade.
I feel like if we were going to give a PowerPoint in any category, this would actually be the one, for me at least, that I would give it. Which I feel like is a weird spot to give it in writing style and prose. But I feel like this is where.
Yeah. I also feel weird giving a book 4 a like 11, right? Because it's like, it's just smack dab in the middle of 9 books. And to be like, so anyways, book 4 specifically, incredible. Go look at it. Masterclass in writing. I mean, you have to read the first 3 first, but then book 4, incredible.
Once you get to issue 748 of One Piece, 11 out of 10. That's anytime anybody talks about One Piece, that's what it is. You just have to get through 782 chapters. The 783rd one is perfect. Perfect.
Hey, the first chapter is great. Start with chapter 1. Go for a ride.
I'm going to ride to the local dumpster.
Go on a trip on my favorite One Piece rocket ship, soaring through the sea, West Blue for me.
One piece of garbage.
That was good.
Anyway,
I'm gonna clip
meaningful
that
themes and depth. Okay, good. Ben, if you're watching this, which I know you don't because you don't watch anything of ours because you hate us,
clip this.
One Piece is stupid and stupid. I have no opinions except to piss people off that watch it and like it. Your show and your book is dumb.
Those of you that like One Piece, I like One Piece. Rereadability. Oh no,
we didn't do themes in depth.
Themes in depth.
Because I feel like even if we just talk about depth, this is one that's just like, so ingrained with. I mean, the clear themes are like, I guess, what do you do against somebody that like has already seen the future? Like, is what I'm doing just futile? Do I just give up?
Yeah.
Like, at what point do we keep going? And even Gideon, has to like, how do you balance being the apex predator? Like, you don't want to rule with force type thing, and like, you want to be a peacekeeper. I think he said it at the
Yeah.
end of the book or
Says it a
something like
lot.
that. Yeah, where
That
he
was a big
goes,
theme for
we're
him.
peacekeeper, not like peace enforcers. So like, there's like a fine line there, and
Yeah.
like balancing that. And he was the only one, and he's starting this order. And now things are just falling apart. He goes, there's no damn handbook for this shit. I'm trying to figure it out. But also, everything's just sad and dying and falling apart. And I really
Everything's on
like
fire.
bad and tragic and sad things.
Hey,
I don't want to read to be happy. If I'm feeling good at the end of the book, I'm not feeling good, I guess. Like, I'm fine with some like happy moments, but I don't want, if you hand me a cozy fantasy book, I'm going to be upset. I would almost rather read One Piece because I don't want anything to be cozy. I want characters' legs getting blown off. I want them to never be able to see again. I want there to be consequences that just suck. And I want emotions that are bad. I want all that. I want to feel bad. I'm okay, I swear.
is this a cry for help?
Please. No, I don't know. I just find those so much more intriguing, and I find that stuff more realistic than everybody's happy and gets to wear flowers. I don't know why I went on that rant, but I feel better.
You're right, though. I mean, characters and stories are developed much more through trials than they are through rainbows and sunshine. It's just not like problems aren't real when you develop things through happiness. There's no real growth. It's not tempered in the fires of redemption.
Calm seas don't make for a great captain.
But it was good. I mean, there was depth. There were good themes. All the Gideon ones, like you said. Elijah's themes of like separation from those who love you to spare them pain is like everybody's. Yeah, it's like, it's a valid problem, but everybody also is like, that's stupid. Your family loves you and wants to see you.
Well, it was, if I had to come up with something that was like reused, it's that where he's like, I'm going to distance myself because I'm mortal and you're immortal. Well, that was like the whole thing with Rain and Nathaniel, and now his kid's doing it. So, I mean, it like works. It's playing off like, oh, you have the same problem as your parents, except you're dying and type thing. I hope someone didn't just fall. They're fine, probably. I don't hear screaming. Fine. So they're either fine or...
Yeah, everything's fine. Or fade away.
Yeah. Anyway, easy point.
Easy point.
Rereadability and lasting impact. I already know your answer.
0.
Hated the book, actually. Lying this whole time.
Pretty terrible. Not very memorable. Kind of forgettable.
I'm happy that we're reading this and it's done because we can keep powering through. Because if like we ended this book and we didn't have the other one, I would be mad.
I'd probably have to commit seppuku. I would simply fade away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I want to keep reading. I can't stop. Won't stop. Amazing.
Can't stop. Won't stop. And if you've been counting at home and you have 10 fingers to count on, you will know that we hit 10. Wow. 10 out of 10 book. This is easily the best in the series for me. I've got no I loved the first one. If I had to do a ranking so far, it would be 4, 1, 2, 3. Actually, 4, 2, 1, 3, maybe.
That's what I was going to say. That's my ranking. 4, 2, 1, 3. This book, incredible.
We'll have to do this after each book.
Book 2's expository lore dumps, also incredible.
Huge dumps. We love big steaming dumps.
Yep, I love the big steaming dumps. It's my problem. It's my fatal flaw. Give me an expository lore dump.
That's why I feel like Stormlight so much. Oh my gosh, I could never read something that's 1,000 pages. I want all the words describing the grass. And
you know what would have made that book better if it was longer and had more expository dumps.
The only book that suffered in that series was Wind and Truth.
Yeah, that's true. But there we are.
I have another thought. It's a random take, and it's about Game of Thrones, but I feel like I want to talk about it here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Because we talked about having all the books out, and Game of Thrones obviously isn't finishing, maybe ever. But I think he's going to drop the last 2 books at the same time. He's just going to be like, you know what? This is taking forever because I'm doing them both, and I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear anything. And if I'm parlaying this, I think the second thing that's going to happen is they're going to come out when he dies. He's going to have them release when he's dead, so he doesn't have to hear the criticism. I think both books are done. He's going to die. And then they're just going to be at Barnes & Noble. You're going to be like, how did this, who wrote this? And it's going to be, that's what's going to happen.
I feel like now that I'm reading it, I have enough main character energy that the books are going to come out. It's about me, the whole world. So basically, like now that I'm reading it, like it's going to be finished.
We'll have to do
You heard it here
Well, we can talk
first.
about this afterwards, but I feel like we do like because you're a complete Game of Thrones virgin, never seen the show, never read the books. I think we have you sit down before each book or whatever and come up with like predictions and what's gonna happen and stuff.
Here for this.
Anyways, that was Fall of Neverdark, book 4
And
or book 1.
That was Fall of Neverdark. One Piece is terrible, and Game of Thrones is coming up. There's lots of things going on in that review.
But thanks so much for watching. Excited to get into the next one when we finish. And then we have what were we just audiobooking?
Shadow and Bone.
Shadow and Bone. So we got book 1 of that probably coming up too. So
yeah.
We got
the fun things going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kyle yelled at me when he called me the other day because he goes, I saw on Goodreads that you finished Fall of Neverdark and you said you were gonna wait and like you were gonna tell me when you finished it. I'm like, I read like 3 books in between those. He goes, oh, I didn't realize you read them that fast. And I was like, yeah. And then so
we took a sizable break.
By
the time we got back to this, I was like, can we please get back to the not can we skip to the good part, but the like, the trend videos. Like, can we get
to the good
Can we
part?
get back to the main storyline?
Yeah, we read
Flamespitter,
Saves Coming. I read Timeless Trials in between, Songs of the Dead, Parade of Horribles, Unsicker Road.
Holy moly, we read a lot of books between 3 and 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including the like one-off I did.
That's crazy.
I keep saying we're Midwest goodbying.
ILY.
I just like talking to you guys.
Thanks for coming. RSQ.
Out.